Intuition. I love this quality of intuition because it, for me, is a pillar of my life. It guides me on what choices to make, really in every aspect of my life. It might be an over-exaggeration to say in every moment, but nearly, right? In all the different roles that I play and the things that I do in my life, I listen to my intuition and it guides me. Well, at this point, I'm nearly batting 1,000. I mean, that's an expression for a hitter that hits every single ball for you non-baseball fans out there. So I'm almost always spot on for the choices that I make. Now, there are absolutely exceptions to that, especially in certain roles when I'm dealing with, when I'm assisting very, very high consciousness people. For example, my spiritual master, Her Holiness Sai Ma. My intuition is not always spot on there, as she is a wonderful expression of the universe itself. So all this to say, let's talk about intuition and how you can find yours and strengthen yours. The first thing that you will need to do if you want to get connected to your intuition is spend time with yourself. Ideally, you're spending time connecting to yourself and in your heart. What do I mean by that? Doing, I wouldn't even say activities, but things that have you get connected to yourself, away from distractions. For me, that looks like sitting silently and in stillness. I love doing it in my room early in the morning or late at night is the best times for me. Sometimes I'll actually go into nature and sit and be around nature, and that's a wonderful experience as well. But the best, absolutely the best thing that you could possibly do to strengthen your intuition is gain a relationship with yourself. Now, for a lot of people, what that means is having to navigate and tolerate the mind, the busy, very uncomfortable nature of this mind. Here's the thing about the mind. With everyone, the surface of the mind per se is like the ocean in the middle of the ocean. It's pretty rocky for most people. I don't know, most people that I know do not naturally have a still, serene mind, especially in the Western culture. It's different, I would say, in the East, in places like India, Malaysia, where else have I seen people just more peaceful and still? Mauritius, this wonderful country off the coast of Madagascar. In the East, people are just more serene and peaceful, in my experience of that I've met. But here in the West, it's more difficult. So all that to say, the rocky ocean, everyone as well, if you have the rocky surface of the ocean as the mind, the more deep that we go within ourselves, the more still the water becomes in this metaphor of the mind. And again, anyone that I know, and I'm an example of this, who had a busy, intolerable experience of sitting with themselves, as I practiced more and more, a peacefulness came. I'll actually post a video with some practices on how to do that now that I'm thinking about it. So the first thing is how to spend time with yourself and connected to your heart and your tenderness. How do you do that? It might be helpful to be guided by someone. There's a million downloads and apps out there that help you get connected to yourself through meditation per se. And you can just be with yourself. Contemplate, be with yourself. Is that there's a specific situation that you're wanting some guidance on, spend time just with yourself. Don't get on Google right away and look for answers or ChatGPT or whatever it is. Sure, in a minute you can do that. But what I would strongly recommend is connecting with yourself. And again, many ways to do that. That's number one. Number two, and this is also an imperative if you want to find or trust or strengthen your intuition, is take action. Take some kind of action to see whether your intuition was attuned or it was maybe not so aligned. However, who knows? Maybe your intuition was telling you to take a certain action that didn't work out, but had you actually get to the place that you needed to in order to grow and learn something new, right? Again, this is how I have strengthened my intuition over the last 20 years, is I will intuitively do things, and then sometimes I will figuratively or literally fall flat on my face. Sometimes in the world of rock climbing and high performance rock climbing, it means kind of hitting the wall with your feet or slapping the wall with your hand and falling and having a fearful experience, but being just fine physically, right? So all that to say, take action because one, you need to test to see if your inner guidance was leading you towards the direction that you really wanted, or maybe your inner, and so you could have been not listening to your inner guidance, or it could have been a little bit off, which is fine. It's not a big deal. It's like a tuning. It's like a certain kind of listening that you get. Or it could be that you were listening in your guidance, you were absolutely clear to do this one thing, and it didn't work out. This has happened to me a number of times in the business world where I would make an investment with something, start creating a company or create a project, and the project didn't work out. I actually recently, a couple of years ago, invested about, how much? $16,000 in a book writing project, and then the company went bankrupt. And I was like, really? Because it felt really good the entire time that I did it, So you could say that my intuition was off, which might be true, or you could say I learned some kind of lesson that helped me listen to my intuition going forward. In fact, probably both could be true, right? Since then, I'm very grateful for the experience. I learned a lot, and I'm reassessing like what to do with this book project now. Yeah. So the first thing is spend time with yourself, connecting with yourself, tolerating yourself, practicing just being with you, right? And then the second point is take action, right? And the third one, this is an important one as well. Listen to other people, and also don't listen to other people, right? So this is one of my favorite ones because I find that my intuition and my relationship to my intuition becomes more refined the more that I consider what other people have to say about choices that I'm making. Now, I have a very connected friend group and spiritual community, which I consider family, and I'll often share with them what I'm up to and what I'm doing. And I have a community of people that have very strong opinions. And I am one of those people as well, right? So they will have very strong opinions about things that I'm doing or choices that I'm making, especially within our intersection of worlds, right? Around our spiritual master and serving our spiritual community as monks and nuns that we all are. So they have very strong opinions about something that I'm doing or shouldn't do. And sometimes they're just not right, which fine, it's great. I really appreciate the strong opinion nature of my family here. And sometimes they're just not right about me, Sometimes they are. So all this to say is engage with other people and engage with yourself. And just through that engagement and through, again, that practice of listening and taking action and then listening or not listening to other people, you will absolutely gain more and more connection to that inner guidance, which I would call intuition. And you can use this in any area, every area of your life, with any decision that you make. Because eventually what will happen is you'll get so in touch with yourself, not only your personality, but the greater self within you, that infinite power of love that exists inside of every one of our hearts, that will start to get expressed through the guidance that you have. And you'll start to make choices that'll make you more and more happy, more and more fulfilled, and you'll grow more and more. It's been great being with you, and all my best to you.